Hi, this is Mike and Marty. We're from Minnesota. We have a 2020 10FB.
Enjoy seeing
Welcome.
it.
All right, so let's introduce you to our Bushwhacker. While it is perfect on its own in brand new condition, we made some alterations along with everybody else. We'll just kind of start here with the front of the trailer. One of the first things we did is we put a power jack on it. It has a light on it so you can do it at night. This really helps with lifting it up. We also got a double tire on the bottom because the single will not turn, and of course we bought it after Mr. Smith, Brian, told us about it. Pull it through grass, pull it through sand, whatever it is.
No, this is a Maxi Trax, right?
This is a Maxi
Wires
Trax, correct.
right to the battery. It's got powers it up and down, and it has
correct. It has a little
light
port
so you can see
for a manual. In the tongue box, we got the little turning it. If you don't have power, you can hand crank it down or up, whichever you want to do. Nice. It's got a cool sound when you do it too.
Now, did the trailer come with the sun tee?
It did.
Good. I'm impressed it rides down the road
so,
like that.
It does not. I have it there in the sun, but yeah, I love sun tee. Was brought up on the sun tee with my grandmother. So
very nice. So you have this is not standard. So
this is not standard. This is a Harbor Freight tongue box. I drilled in and I added vents to it because it did not come with vents. And just to make sure nothing got overheated, and if I ever do move the battery inside of it,
sure,
I've got venting.
Right, it's always great to have this catch-all. We have limited space in the teardrops.
Correct, so I've got a box of everything that we need. I've got a toolbox, old hammers.
Now, what I really like about yours, because sometimes simple is key, is yours fits perfectly on the stock tray.
Correct.
I know a lot of them, including what I'm using, we had to cut into things, make some pretty major mods. That actually tucked behind your propane tank and went in like a dream, left room for the battery.
Little tight right here, but we are going to just simply move this about an inch forward so we can get to it, because it's just a little tight getting to the key. But other than that, it's beautiful. We also, when we switched, had to buy a brand new vehicle, it did not have the connection for
the 7-pin towing.
The 7-pin towing on it. So we had the 7-pin put on, but we could not run a brake controller to it. So we bought the Kurt Echo, or Eco, whatever it is.
Yep.
We strapped it to here, and of course every winter we bring it home because we're in Minnesota. We get it out of the weather. So we take it off, put new straps back on.
That's really nice. So that wirelessly, it uses Bluetooth to communicate with your phone.
It does.
And it utilizes the trailer brakes when you're braking the tow vehicle without actually directly wiring to the tow vehicle.
That's correct.
And you did a really good job here. The only complaint folks have is they fall apart and they lose that expensive part. So I see you strapped her down.
Strapped her down, and then just bought a 3-foot, 4-foot extension here that runs right to the vehicle.
Now, Mike and Marty are OGs.
OGs,
they're famous
yes,
in the Bushwhacker world. But we know that it is the Tazwhacker. So you scraped off the bush and you added some graphics. Where did you get the vinyl?
We actually talked to an old friend of mine whose wife has a Cricket.
Oh, so these are homemade Cricket ones?
These are homemade Cricket.
And to customize your trailer is half the fun. So there's no missing this. We have, I don't know, what, 15 Bushwhackers here?
At least 15 Bushwhackers
At least,
this year,
and
yes.
You're not going to confuse yours with anyone else.
Nope. Some people either completely remove them, leave certain things on there. When we get around to the other side, I'll show you a little hack that we had as well.
Nice. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely, thank you. So with the Taz and the Whacker, we went through, we started pulling all the bush off of it and everything. But the other side, we actually picked the wrong letter, and I'll show you that in a minute.
Nice.
Latest thing we did here is we painted our silver steps with a black truck bed coating.
Yeah, it's got some texture. It looks
so it's not
tough.
slippery. It wasn't slippery before, but now it's not slippery at all.
It matches better. It's a good
and it
look.
looks really nice. It kind of levels everything out. One of the other things we did is we added an extra a port out here on the outside. So we have a sprayer out here, and we have the sink inside. So
I can't understate how great of a modification this is. The Bushwhackers come with this giant high pressure hose. It's great for cleaning off your feet and doing different things, but it's a lot better suited out here than it is in here. In here, this is a mod you did with the shut-off valve and one of these Dura connections.
Correct. And we were able to find, we had all plastic connectors, so we didn't have that problem that some were having with the metal connectors. You had to get
Yeah,
the
they're
right
all
ones.
different fittings,
They
so
were
it's
different
hard
fittings,
to
so-
recommend them to people.
This is probably version 3 of our galley. My wife loves to change things around.
It looks very
Love you, honey.
clean. It looks very organized. The missus is laughing in the background. I really like, so you painted, you gave yourself some extra space. This is a new countertop. You swapped these.
Swap these, yes.
So this is the actual original formation.
No,
from the
well,
first,
from the first one,
From the very
correct.
first Bushwhacker had the stove in the center, and you
Yes, it
must
did.
have liked that better.
We like the fact that if we use a big pan, if we're going to pull out a big skillet pan to cook for more than 2 people, it fits there. Over here, you're fighting with this wall. You're not
point.
getting to that burner. So with it in the center, you've got plenty of room across.
I see updated speakers.
We put in some new speakers because the other ones are just kind of crackling a little bit, so
Yeah,
we
they're
replaced
terrible.
these. The ones on the inside are still good. They're not crackling, so we did
The other
that.
thing you accomplished is you have an old enough one like I do that the water pump switch is here.
And
so when the stove
so
was
when we
there,
switched it,
you would turn it on
yes.
every time.
So
nice.
we didn't need to move it up here. We didn't need to move it anywhere because this was what was stopping it or turning it on automatically. So yeah, we were able to leave it
Those
there.
are adhesive stick-on tiles?
These are, yeah, they're like jigsaw puzzle
Great.
pieces that you just fit together and they look like they're all one piece.
And you found a stud for that towel rack?
Correct, yes.
Very nice.
Found it right in, that's pretty sturdy. We have these actually Velcroed to the, screwed into the base. So these won't go anywhere. Holds all of our things.
It looks really good, and this stuff is so handy. You found this on Amazon?
Yes.
Just little things to
We
hold your
actually
coffee
use those
and-
in our house.
Yeah,
we had
I
them in
don't-
our house before we brought them out to the trailer.
I've also discovered things in the trailer that I've then brought to the house. You know,
Definitely.
usually it's the other way around, but
And we've got our Bushwhacker stickers up here from
this
the first.
is a very nice mod. Did
the
this
first
take
annual.
you long?
It took me like 2 weeks to get it straight, and I just, the fact that you were coming, I had to make sure it was right.
Nice.
So we've got the first initial Bushwhacker up in Jenkins, Minnesota. We've got the first one down here, the second one up in Jenkins, Minnesota, which we didn't have one this year. So, but we're back down here and excited to show
Getting
everything
some
off.
great miles on the trailer and getting some great use. Now, I love your outdoor kitchen. You went with the Blackstone?
We absolutely went for the Blackstone. That was the simplest thing we wanted to go for. No, we're not cooking leaves this day. So we love the Blackstone. Last year we cooked breakfast for everybody at this rally. Made a heart pancake for Brian.
Yes,
so
I
he
think I have a
got
photo
one.
of that.
But yeah, we love the Blackstone. We have tanks for it, but we're also looking to get the right price for a 10-pound one that we have a bag and a
Yeah.
connector for. But for now, as much as we're cooking on it, that should be enough for us.
Very nice. People rave about these. I've actually not really used them much, but they seem to be a great camp stove.
Whether it be Blackstone, whether it be a generic one, just the flat top cooking, yeah, you can pretty much do anything on this. You can cook pancakes, bacon, burgers, anything. You can make a cake on here if you needed to.
Nice. All right, so what do you think about this 12-volt fridge? I see you have no fridge in the galley.
No
So
fridge in the
you
galley.
carry this in the tow vehicle?
We carry this in the tow vehicle while we're driving. It is, of course, a 12 volt, so it has a plug into the vehicle. We've got 2 12 volt plug-ins in the car, or we can plug it into 110 volts. So,
What's your quick review on the Calmera?
We've had not a problem with it. If we need it colder, we put it down there. We've had it actually when we had power out at the house. We had to move everything in our freezer in here as much as we could, and we froze it. It's great.
Excellent.
So, but yeah, it holds a whole lot of stuff. We've got everything you can think of in here, and we've had no problems with it.
Well, what cracks me up is that a lot of these fridges are made in the exact same place, and the components are identical and everything about them. But yeah, they have different reputations online, and I'm glad that you're having a good experience. with
We
this one.
bought this first thing when we bought the trailer too. So this is about 3 years old. That's true, and my wife likes this. This is another Amazon purchase. If you've never seen them before, and this saves a lot of space for camping, these are masonry Ziploc bags. They look like mason jars.
Wow.
But there's multiple sizes from the little small snack one up to a full gallon, I think. Yeah.
They don't leak.
and they don't leak.
So they do not leak. They have
squeeze.
multiple seals.
You can
and
lay
you
them
could
flat on
probably
top of each
freeze
other.
the stuff at home and stick. Yeah.
Or you can stand them up, whichever works for you in there. So
What
they are
about this
perfect.
table? Did that come with it, or is that an
No,
add-on?
we bought this. I think we had different tables, but it's got storage underneath. And we recommend if you are outdoor camping, make sure you do not put anything that doesn't come in a tub in there, because we just had an attack from a squirrel that came in here and started eating our popcorn.
So there's been multiple squirrel attacks at
Yes.
the Bushwhacker rally. One of them ate a closed bottle of Italian dressing and put oil all over the campsite.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was our first attack from the squirrel, but she just threw a bag of popcorn in there, didn't think of it. It was wrapped and sealed. But so yeah, this folds up, that comes up in it, and it's just a little briefcase.
Nice.
Fits
Well,
flat
this
right in the
is-
Bushwhacker.
This is a really cozy setup.
Well, should we do the awning here?
Yeah, I see you have the Iron Man.
Yes, this is the Iron Man 4x4, 8x8. It comes with the room. We have that still in the vehicle. We didn't put it on because it's hot
100
and humid
degrees
here,
out.
and we didn't want to create a little vortex of heat. So
But you've had good experience. It keeps the rain off.
we've
It's
had
got
no problem. We angle one side off depending on the grade of the ground. When it rained yesterday, all the water came off here, fell down there, and ran down into the river. Lights come on this one here. There's a strip of LED.
Oh, very nice.
We don't have them plugged in right now, but this gives you a lot of light under here. And it's so simple to put up. And we were talking about these little green squares, like, okay, what are these for? Brain fart. They're used to help hold in the grooves so they don't fall out. They come sit in there and they sit right in there.
Very cool.
So now I mentioned about the graphics here. If you take a look at this H here, look at the difference in the color of the two. My wife, instead of starting with the Bush, with the H on Bush, started with this H. So we had our friends with the Taz. Oh, we got to show that first too.
Did I notice booze in the galley?
So we had
Tazwhacker.
them take the image from our photo of our Bushwhacker, put it through the computer into the Cricut, and it gave the same look.
I never would have
You
noticed.
never would
if
have
you
noticed it.
didn't.
So as we enter this side of the inside of the trailer, first thing we did in here is we put a TV. Added that TV up there because we never use it, but it's there in case we ever need to.
Sure.
We've got the 6-inch Mallard mattress, trifold, and we
Nice.
love it.
I've never met a person that didn't love that mattress.
For those of anybody else who's looking or questioning it, it is like a cloud. It is the best decision you'll ever make.
Now you have a 10FB, and I'm noticing it's nice and cool in here. So you did some work on that air conditioner.
I did not.
You did not. So
All I did was, when you install your window units at your home, you have them tilted out when you are running them at home, out of your window. You don't have them level, they're bent out. So all I did is I jacked the front of the cab up so it's leaning back, so the water
But you
all
didn't cut
slides.
any vents or anything.
The vents, there's 2 vents on either side.
And they
plus-
were there when you got it?
Yes.
Oh, so that's a mod. They
may have bought it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
those
we've had no
those
problem
weren't
with it.
there.
But my wife has some sleeping problems where she can't lie flat at night. And for those of you that do, we found this little kit here. There's actually several pieces to it, but it helps her elevate, and then there's a pillow under her blankets that have her legs come up. So
Oh,
she's
it's pretty
taking the
luxurious.
weight off of her. Laying flat in any bed she can't do. So for those of you who cannot sleep on a flat mattress so you don't go camping,
Go for the lazy
go
Z
for
or
it.
what
It's
is it
lazy.
called?
Yeah, it was just an Amazon buy, and it comes. Yeah, and even the hotels. We bring it into hotels. We you know, at home we got a reclining one, but so that is exactly what we use for her to sleep well.
So let me ask you, I've seen the pictures from your Facebook. Do you know how many states, how many miles? You've been all over with the Tazwhacker.
Well, let's start out with the maiden voyage. We've, again, married 28 years, but back in 2020, I'd promised her for our entire marriage to take her on this trip that I did as a kid with my parents across the United States. So she said for my 50th, sorry, hon, we're going to drive that trip. So, okay, she goes, and I'm not tenting. So we sent out to get the right trailer, and we ended up with choosing the Bushwhacker. And we took this on a maiden voyage of 7,000 miles, 17 days across the West. Multiple national parks, visited friends and family along the way, old coworkers, all the way to the coast of California and back. We have friends that have parties out at their lot. We go pull up wherever, the driveway, a backyard, the street, and we have our own bed. We don't put them out.
I've talked to a lot of folks that use it when they go visit somebody's house. It's now the extra spare bedroom.
Yeah, if you estimate, I would say probably close to 15 to 20,000.
Wow, very impressive.
In 3 years.
Well,
we've gone everywhere.
It's always nice to talk to somebody who's used the trailer as much as you have. It's been great hanging out with you a few times now on the road.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. We'll give you a sneak peek. She doesn't want to be on the video. They can't hear you because you don't have a microphone, so we'll just wait. All right, have a great weekend, guys.
Take care. But let's show you the rest of the...
Oh.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Taz. Again, this is all done with the Cricut. And it took them probably a day and a half, I think, just to let it print. So it looks beautiful. Everybody loves it. We get the smiles. We get the faces down the road as we drive by. And... Oh, yes, of course, the story. Mr. and Mrs. Taz was on our cake topper 28 years ago. So we had salt and pepper shakers, and we painted them and colored them and put a veil on the bride, and that was our cake topper. So last year we were thinking, we love the Bushwhacker name, who wouldn't? But we decided, let's change it. And she goes, my wife Marty goes, Taz. So Tazwhacker, yes.
Tazwhacker was born.
Absolutely.